name's Ronnie. Stott.
And how long have you lived in the area?
I've lived in this area for just over 74 years.
And how have you seen the area change?
And it's changed an awful lot. I've seen, when I first lived here, during the war, there was no horse close. There was just Greatwood Avenue. So I watched horse close being built. I watched it develop right up as it stands now.
And how has it developed? What's changed over the years?
It's changed. Before, when it was first built, and then it got a bit run down. I think through the fault of the council. But since Yorkshire Housing has taken over, the standard has improved, and the houses are looking beautiful to what they used to be.
Does that make you feel proud of the area?
Yes, it is, because council estates get an awful bad name around the country. But here in Skipton, Horse Close, I think, is the only really council estate left. And they are maintained, and people seem to be looking after it better.
How important is it that people take a pride in their neighbourhood?
Well, it makes them feel better themselves, I'm sure. It looks nice, and it's always nice to come out onto a street and see it nice and clean, rather than what it used to be like. There'd be mattresses dumped in gardens, old prams, cars lying at the side of the road. There's nothing like that now.
There is a little bit of that, isn't there? It's not. There is a little bit of that, isn't there? It's not completely.
Oh, it's not completely. You will never ever get it 100%. But I've been round the country a lot. When I was the Air Training Corps, I went round a lot of cities, and I've seen a lot of housing estates, and Horse Close is a picture compared to some of them.
Now, you've always valued community service, haven't you? Volunteering and giving something back to the community.
Well,
tell me about that and how important that is.
When I came back from Northern Ireland, I'd been in the forces, and I'd seen a lot of heartache, a lot of bloodshed, fighting, and the children over there had no life whatsoever. Now, when I came back here, I was approached by a friend if I would give him a hand running a youth organisation, the Air Training Corps. So I went, and I quite enjoyed it. And I thought, well, Skipton should have an Air Training Corps like it used to have before the war. It was a grammar school squadron, and it was disbanded as the war started, like all Air Training Corps. So I started up with another chap, Skipton, in Christchurch School, in a classroom with 10 kids. And over 18 years, we built it into a squadron of 40 children. Now, those children, we taught them discipline, which is what a lot of children today can't seem to take. There's no discipline. And yet, they don't mind discipline, no children.
So tell me about the work you're doing right now, because you're still working with young people, even today, aren't you?
Yes, well, after I finished with the Air Cadets, due to my age, I happened to see in the local paper, the Craven Herald, about a gentleman who just retired, who used to run not an organisation, but he knew certain people who would read in schools. And he finished, and I suddenly thought, well, I think I could do that. Now, my 3 granddaughters were at Greatwood School, and the headmaster there was a friend of mine, John Collins, great bloke. And I approached him, and I started off from there. And I got really interested.
So you're helping children right through primary school to read?
I'm helping right through, starting, I do year 2, year 4 and year 6. So I have a broad spectrum of the reading ability of the whole school.
So what's your impression of the young people that you're working with?
They want to learn. They're keen to learn. It's a lovely school. We've got a very good headmaster now, and the teaching staff are outstanding.
Do you pick up that they've got aspiration, they've got hope for the future?
Oh yes, they all talk when I do my reading. I'll have a little talk to them. I'll say, "Did you out at weekend?" or "Have you got anything planned?" or and they'll tell me what they'd like to do, and they're going to be this and they're going to be that. Whether they do or not, it's up to them. But yes, they have hopes. It's a happy school, is that? And if a pupil's happy, they learn.
What are your hopes for them and for this community?
I'd like to help children on the right path. I'd like them to be honest and respectful to older people, but good manners. I'm very strict on good manners.
And what would you say to all the residents that live around here, all the parents? What do you think the community can do to help keep these young people on the right path?
Well, they can encourage them. Sport is a good thing. Getting outside, plenty of fresh air. I like to see the playing area. There's some nice playing areas. There's a football field. There's a court there. There's any amount of sport. But it would take somebody to try and organise it. Now, you have 1 or 2 here. There's a girl just come in there, Katie Hogarth. She lives on Sharper. And she started a girls' football team. Brilliant. Her mother, Anita, Mrs. Hogarth, she does all the sport for the school. Terrific. The amount of time they put in over and above what they get paid for is astronomical.
So it's about volunteers, about people taking initiative.
Another one there, he lives on Codder Road, John French. Now he runs LMS under 10s, and a lot from the estate play football. A lot from the estate play rugby. And I think that sport plays a big part in bringing on young people.